Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Bitcoin, taking a look at the most recent price action and what we think is likely to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button, I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe. Tapping the bell, selecting all the notifications, you will stay up to date with all the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, you're missing a trick. Check it out, linked in the description down below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free and is the first place that we go to notify of all of the recent activities within crypto. So keep a finger on the pulse of crypto by joining us down in the Discord server, linked in the description down below. In this video, we're going to be covering two things. We're going to be taking a look at smart money concepts, and we're going to be taking a look at the Elliott-Wave theory structures. These two things combined together give us a pretty good idea as to kind of the market structure and where things are likely to go. So let's go ahead and start things off by jumping down into the Elliott-Wave theory side of things. And what we need to do here is we need to scrutinize this recent move down here, okay? So one of the things that we've got going on here is a couple of different ways that we can see this five-wave structure, okay? So we have a five-wave pattern to the upside here, okay? A five-wave structure, which is like this in nature, is what they call an impulsive five-wave structure. This impulsion is usually a trend. However, sometimes these five-wave structures appear at the end of a bigger structure and therefore can actually be deemed bearish, right? So we need to understand, is this the beginning of something or is this the end of something? Okay, so if you start with five waves, you must end in with five waves. So we need to find out if this is the ending structure or the leading structure, okay? And then obviously from this, we can see where we can think things are going next. So in order for us to understand what's going on here, we also need to understand what's going on just at this low end here. Now, I can't do this on this hourly chart. We're going to have to go down deeper into the smaller time frames to know exactly what's going on down here. We're looking for five waves here so that we can kind of see this as a wave one situation, okay? And then what we'll do from there is if we can get a five-wave structure here, then we've got two different variables or two different kind of structures that we can then kind of map in. So let's go down into the 15-minute chart to start with. Okay, and what we're looking for here is to see whether or not this particular area has five waves in it. And you can see here we come down, we come straight up, we come down, we come up again, right? So it looks to me like just three waves going up here. Basically from the low to up to here, we come down and then we go up again. But again, it could also be that we have basically 1, 2, 3, 4 down here and an overextension 5, because we can see on this 15-minute chart a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 like that. So it's possible that we have an overextension in the fifth. So let's go down to the 5-minute chart and see if I can find find the data. There we go. We are looking for if I can find it. I'll go back to the 15 minutes and find the actual timestamp on it. So it was 27th at 1600. So let's go ahead and find that. Okay, we've got quite a way to go this way. And almost there. Over here. Okay, yeah, this one right here. So we can see here that it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, possibly. We need to do our sense checks though. We can't just look at it. I mean, the wick's quite deep here. So I don't think we're going to meet those requirements that you would normally expect. So we'll check this out. And, oh no, it does. It just hits the 1.618. Okay. It would look like that is exactly what's going on then. So that is a wave one situation. Perfect. Okay, so let's come back up into our hourly chart and we'll bring this back in play. Okay, so that does mean that our wave one starts over here and it goes up like that. And then our wave two is down here. Okay, this is and that just basically means that we have this five-wave structure. This now helps us understand the kind of structure that's going on here. Was this corrective up? No, it is in fact impulsive up, which means one of two things, right? We are either, or potentially even more than that, to be honest with you. We'll keep it as simple as 2 for now. We've gone 5 up here. We've come down in corrections. Are we going to go up in 5 more from here, right? That kind of thing. Now, it's also possible that we have to pull back down a little bit deeper before we have this 5-wave move. And let's go ahead and talk about typical kind of wave 2 situations, right? So if we were to think about a much bigger impulsion to the upside, then we're going to have to talk about coming down quite a bit heavier. We have come into this range already though, so that's not too bad. Typically it comes down to 88.2% retracements, which would be $26,810. But looking at it, we've already come into the 50% level of retracement, so it's not terribly too bad. Interesting kind of stuff. So 5-wave structures. As I was saying, it can be at the beginning of a structure or the end of a structure. So if it was the end of a structure, what would that look like? And well, it would look like this. It would basically be a irregular flat. We'd have this move here, here, and then here. And this is something that is often called a megaphone pattern. We haven't exactly expanded out massively from here, but basically if I draw this on, you can kind of see it expands out ever so slightly. It's not the best example of it, but you can kind of see it in there. Okay, so that's one possibility. However, it isn't really going to take into consideration this move to the downside. So I don't think an irregular flat is actually what is going on there. I think what's actually gone on here is we have a corrective structure here, coming in and bringing us down into this low, and now we're starting a new structured move to the upside. We also have a double zigzag over here, just for neatness of all of this. We have 1, 2, kind of 3, 4, and 5 in there, and then we have another one just in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And as you can kind of see, we had this zigzag right here. This is a zigzag. All in all, it's a double zigzag pattern. So I'll take off all these structures and I will put on a WXY. And yeah, W, X, and Y. Okay, so we know that that's what's going on there, and then we come down into this correction, and now we've got this bigger move coming up. So I'd say it looks like our minimum expectation here is going to be a zigzag pattern, and a zigzag pattern, it does look like this is actually bottomed out now, so we should be thinking about this move to the upside. A zigzag pattern would basically just be double the size of this one, well, would be this applied to this level over here, meaning that we'll be looking at targeting out that 30,000 to 30,900. I'll pop this on to here. And the other option, the other viable option here, outside of just a zigzag, which if I draw the zigzag on, you can see it would be A, B, and C like this. The other option is that we go impulsive, right? Really big impulsion. And if we do that, then we'll be talking about moving to the 1.618 minimum. And it would be a minimum for that to occur, and that would be putting us at 32,150. Okay, and you can see that right in there. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw that on, come into my settings here, and just apply the 1.618 label. So we can see that right in there. So those are kind of the areas that we'll be thinking about, we can see in here. Now, let's scrutinize this structure that we're currently on from an Elliott wave theory point of view. Let's see what's going on in here. So again, we have this wick down at the bottom. We need to understand how is this first wave going. We have a clear fourth wave. Let's just go ahead and check that. Yeah, we have a clear fourth wave, meets its requirements, not a problem. So we've ended fifth wave there. We've come down a little ways here. We can still move down a little bit and bounce around over the weekend. I'm not too concerned about that, but I am concerned about this recent move down here. So let's go back down into our 15 minutes and take a look at that. And you can see here we still have those wicks. Take it to the 5 minute. Let's bring this up into here. And yeah, so let's see. Yeah, okay, interesting. I'm not looking at the right one, it's down here. This is the one I'm looking for. Okay, yeah, so we can see here, down, then we've rallied up, come down, and I think then we hit some kind of diagonal at the very end here. It's quite a messy chart, this one. One, gain. Yeah, okay. It's not a very neat example of a diagonal by any stretch of the imagination, and it would have to be. Yeah, I don't think it really fits, to be honest with you. Let's come back up into our hourly. Bring this up into play. It doesn't look like this is actually the start of what we're looking for. So I would say that we're probably still in some kind of corrective state of play here. So it doesn't look like we've started that next 5 wave structure at the moment. I would probably say we're going to have to come up a little bit more before we come on down, but it'll be interesting to kind of see how that plays out. Ultimately, we haven't got a good start to another 5 wave count. So my concern here is that we actually have to go down a little ways deeper before we actually see this. Let's go ahead. If we have this local high here, still think we'll potentially push up higher. We'll have to come down more towards this consolidation area, 27.172, and then we start our next 5-wave count from here, like this. Okay, it'll be interesting to kind of see how that plays out over the weekend. Usually volumes drop off, just retail kind of pushing the price around a little bit. Not going to be looking for those kind of really big impulsion moves over the weekend, but yeah, at the moment, I don't think we have a structure here that looks like we are starting our wave 1 situation. So I would say we probably are in some kind of correction like this, and we're probably going to have to grind this out over the weekend before we can get into that next move. Okay, so knowing that then, that's Elliott wave theory. It looks bullish, but we do have to have a natural corrective move coming down just a fraction more before we can continue in our direction. Let's jump over into smart money concepts. So smart money concepts is also in a bullish state of play at the moment. So we have this change of character, which flipped from bearish to bullish, even after the bearish signal was flipped from our bullish to bearish. This is really short-lived because we had that move to the upside. The manipulation here is stacking up quite well. We can see that there's institutional players or whale players pushing that price and grabbing as much liquidity as possible. So we're getting a few fake signals coming out, but that's the whole point of smart money concepts here, is to help us identify what is going on when it comes to the manipulations of large funds. And so we can see that we've got a couple of fair value gaps, but again, you see these things stacking up quite a bit. So we know that there's a lot of manipulation occurring here on Bitcoin. So we know it's occurring. We just want to make sure that we're on the right side of it. Now, when we take a look at this recent structure here, we do have a weak high, so it's still signaling that we should potentially have that potential move up higher. And we've got a strong low, meaning that we're not likely to come down into these lows at the moment. So again, it kind of conforms to the idea that there's a push up higher here. However, looking at this, we are above the equilibrium. I think we're probably going to have to come back down and retest some of these areas. We filled out this one that was left behind. I can get rid of that now. And we can see that this area of consolidation around that $27,000 is also a fair value gap. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it would make sense for us to kind of come back down into this range and fill that out. But you know, that's because it would be logical to do so. And at the moment, I think the institutional funds, these big funds, these whale players, are doing the illogical. They're catching people out by not doing what they should, or what the price action should be doing, following the psychology of players and whatnot. So I think at the moment, you're seeing there's a lot of liquidity getting grabbed out, and we're seeing basically the fallout of that. So until retail is willing to sell their Bitcoin, they're basically just being sold to at these premium ranges at the moment. So we'll take a look at this. Equilibrium is down at 27,700. I think a retest of this area and a retest of that 200 EMA is likely. We are, of course, oversold on the hourly, so I don't expect this to kind of go straight down here. Over the weekend, it basically just goes sideways. So I'm expecting a slow grind to the downside, or just sideways trading and get us set up for a better position. But at the moment, yeah, there's nothing too much to worry about here from smart money concepts. We had a couple of minor changes, nothing major there. So for the most part, it looks okay. Still in a bullish state of play. Aligns to kind of Elliott wave theory to a degree. But yeah, for the most part, nothing to worry about, I don't think. So yeah, hopefully, guys, you found this useful and informative. If you have, hit that like button. I'll leave the video right there. If you are new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, guys, check it out, linked in the description below. Until the next one, though, have a fantastic day.
We are not financial advisors. None of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to risk your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not financial advice.